Australia may be known for its breathtaking landscapes and wildlife, but lurking within its borders are some of the most haunted houses you'll ever hear about. From eerie mansions to spooky homesteads, these places are filled with ghostly tales and chilling encounters. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through the top 15 haunted houses in Australia, places where the past refuses to stay buried, and the supernatural is just a knock on the door away. Are you brave enough to enter? 1. Monte Cristo Homestead, New South Wales. Welcome to Australia's most haunted house, Monte Cristo Homestead. This Victorian-era mansion, perched atop a hill in Junee, has been the epicenter of eerie tales since the 1800s. The Crawley family, who built this mansion, seemed cursed by tragedy. Mrs. Crawley, known as a stern, cold woman, supposedly never left the house in 23 years, and after her death, her spirit allegedly remains. But she's not alone. People have reported seeing a ghostly maid who fell to her death, a stable boy burnt alive, and even a child who tragically died after being dropped down the stairs. Visitors and paranormal investigators have encountered cold spots, flickering lights, and disembodied voices. For those who dare, Monte Cristo offers overnight stays, but be warned, those who enter may leave with a spine-chilling story of their own. 2. The Prince Henry Hospital Nurses' Quarters, New South Wales. Set amidst the windswept cliffs of Little Bay is the Prince Henry Hospital Nurses' Quarters. This seemingly peaceful building hides dark stories of tragedy and lingering spirits. The quarters were home to nurses during the early 20th century, and many who lived there spoke of the unsettling atmosphere that clung to the place. Some say the ghost of a former nurse, who took her own life, wanders the halls at night, her shadowy figure appearing just beyond the corner of your eye. Footsteps are heard pacing through empty corridors, and objects move on their own. Today, the building is part of a residential area, but the ghostly whispers from its past remain. As you explore the former quarters, you may feel a sudden chill, or hear the faint echo of those who worked and perished here. 3. The House on the Hill, Victoria. High on a lonely hill in Victoria sits an old, dilapidated structure known simply as the House on the Hill. This private residence has stood witness to over a century of history, yet its story is shrouded in mystery. Local legends tell of a family who once lived here but vanished without a trace, leaving behind a house filled with strange sounds and eerie occurrences. Visitors have reported ghostly figures standing at the windows, shadows moving in rooms where no one is present, and doors that slam shut on their own. The most chilling encounter is said to be with a woman in white, whose spirit is seen roaming the grounds. The story goes that she was a heartbroken bride left at the altar, forever searching for her lost love. Step inside and you might feel her presence lingering, trapped between this world and the next. 4. Gladesville Mental Hospital Superintendent's House, New South Wales. While Gladesville Mental Hospital itself has a macabre history, the Superintendent's House is the true focal point of paranormal activity. This stately old home, once the residence of the hospital's overseer, is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who perished in the nearby asylum. Stories of ghostly apparitions, sudden cold drafts, and unexplained sounds fill this house. One of the most famous sightings is that of a former superintendent who is said to still roam the halls, tending to his long-forgotten patients. Some visitors claim to have seen shadowy figures in the windows or felt the presence of unseen entities watching them. The house has since fallen into disrepair, but for those brave enough to visit, it offers a chilling glimpse into the lives and deaths of the souls that once inhabited the hospital. 5. Wyrie Homestead, South Australia. On the outskirts of Millicent stands the once grand Wyrie Homestead, a now abandoned house with a sinister reputation. Built in the 19th century, this homestead was home to early settlers, but not all who lived there found peace. The spirit of a young girl, believed to have died tragically on the property, is often seen playing in the overgrown gardens or wandering the halls. Guests have reported hearing her laughter echoing through the rooms even though no one else is present. But she's not alone. Other visitors claim to have seen dark, shadowy figures lurking in the corners and felt an oppressive energy that weighs down on anyone who dares to enter. Wyrie Homestead may appear like just another old house, but those who visit know better. It's a place where the past refuses to rest. 6. Anandale House, New South Wales. In the heart of Sydney, Anandale House has earned a reputation for being one of the city's most haunted locations. Built in the 1880s, this grand Victorian home was once the height of luxury, but tragedy soon followed. The original owner's wife is said to have died under mysterious circumstances, and her spirit reportedly still haunts the home. Visitors have experienced eerie encounters with a ghostly woman dressed in period clothing, wandering the rooms at night. Some have reported hearing footsteps in the halls and whispers in empty rooms. The current residents, though accustomed to the strange happenings, admit that the house has an unsettling atmosphere, particularly after dark. If you ever find yourself passing by, take a closer look. You might just catch a glimpse of the house's spectral inhabitants. 7. Glenbar Homestead, Victoria. Built in the late 1800s, Glenbar Homestead is known for its beauty and its paranormal activity. This historic home has long been rumored to be haunted by several spirits, most notably a young boy who is often seen in the upstairs windows. Legend has it that the boy died tragically in the house, and his spirit has never left. Guests who stay the night report hearing a child's laughter echoing through the empty hallways and feeling cold spots in certain rooms. Some have even seen toys move on their own. While the homestead looks like a peaceful retreat from the outside, those who enter quickly learn that the past is never far away. 8. Ravenswood Homestead, Victoria. Welcome to Ravenswood Homestead, a stately old mansion with a dark past. Built in the 1850s during the Gold Rush era, this sprawling homestead has housed many over the years, some of whom may have never left. The most famous spirit that haunts Ravenswood is said to be that of a former servant girl who died under suspicious circumstances. Her presence has been felt by visitors and staff alike, with reports of strange noises, furniture moving on its own, and doors slamming shut without warning. Those who've stayed overnight speak of cold spots in certain rooms, particularly in the servants' quarters, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. Some even claim to have seen the ghostly figure of the girl herself, drifting through the halls, forever tied to the house. If you're brave enough to visit, don't be surprised if you leave with more than just memories. 9. Abercrombie House, New South Wales. Abercrombie House is a grand Gothic-style mansion set in the hills of Bathurst, New South Wales. Built in the 1870s, its grandeur hides a chilling secret. The house is said to be haunted by multiple spirits. One of the most frequently seen is the ghost of a former maid, who supposedly died under mysterious circumstances while working at the house. Guests have reported seeing her spectral figure standing at the windows, as if still on duty, as well as hearing soft whispers and footsteps in the dead of night. Others have experienced doors that open and close on their own, and objects moving without explanation. Paranormal investigators have visited Abercrombie House many times, recording strange phenomena, and the owners themselves acknowledge the house's haunted reputation. Step inside, and you might just come face to face with the past. 10. Ehrenbank House, Victoria. Tucked away in Melbourne's suburbs lies Ehrenbank House, an imposing mansion with a haunting history. Built in the early 1900s, Ehrenbank was once home to a wealthy family, but over the years, tragedy struck. The spirit of a former resident, believed to be a young woman who died tragically, is said to haunt the house to this day. Guests have reported seeing her ghostly figure wandering the hallways at night, her presence often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature. Other strange phenomena include lights flickering, doors slamming, and eerie voices calling out in the dead of night. Paranormal activity is especially strong in the attic, where many say they've felt a heavy, oppressive energy. For those who dare to visit, Ehrenbank offers a chilling glimpse into the supernatural. 11th, Maitland Jail Governor's House, New South Wales. While Maitland Jail is known for its infamous prisoners and eerie history, it's the Governor's House that truly captures the imagination of ghost hunters. This once luxurious residence housed the jail's governors and their families. But today, it's the site of numerous paranormal reports. People who've explored the house speak of cold spots, sudden feelings of dread, and sightings of ghostly figures. One of the most famous apparitions is that of a former governor who is said to still haunt the property, long after his death. Doors open and close on their own, and at night, the sound of footsteps can be heard echoing through the empty halls. If you visit Maitland, the Governor's House offers an unnerving reminder that even the most elegant homes can harbor dark secrets. 12th, Stirling Homestead, Western Australia. Built in the 19th century, Stirling Homestead in Western Australia is a grand old estate with a ghostly reputation. This historic house has seen generations come and go, but it's said that not all its former residents have moved on. The spirit of a former owner, believed to be Sir James Stirling himself, is rumored to wander the halls. Visitors have reported seeing a tall, shadowy figure, often accompanied by the smell of pipe tobacco, which Stirling was known to smoke. Others have experienced doors slamming, windows rattling, and strange lights flickering in the rooms. One of the most chilling reports comes from those who felt a sudden, inexplicable coldness in the library, where Stirling is said to have spent much of his time. For anyone brave enough to visit, Stirling Homestead offers more than just a glimpse into Australia's colonial past. It's a portal to the otherworldly. 13. Prospect House, Tasmania. Located in the tranquil Tasmanian countryside, Prospect House is a beautifully preserved Georgian mansion, but behind its elegant facade lies a darker tale. This house is believed to be haunted by the ghost of a woman who met a tragic end. Guests who've stayed at Prospect House report hearing the faint sounds of weeping late at night, and some have even seen a spectral woman dressed in 19th century clothing roaming the halls. The cellar is said to be particularly active, with reports of sudden cold drafts and objects moving on their own. Some visitors have even felt a ghostly hand brush against them in the darkness. Despite its picturesque surroundings, Prospect House has a haunting atmosphere that lingers long after you leave. 14. Lanyan Homestead ACT. Just outside of Canberra lies the sprawling Lanyan Homestead, a historic property with a storied past. This 19th century estate is not only a window into Australia's colonial history, but also a hotbed of paranormal activity. The most famous spirit is that of a former servant, who is said to have died under suspicious circumstances. Her ghost has been seen wandering the grounds, and many who visit Lanyan report feeling an eerie presence in certain parts of the house. The dining room in particular is known for sudden cold spots and the sound of footsteps when no one is around. Visitors have also reported hearing whispers in the stables and seeing shadowy figures moving across the gardens at dusk. Whether you're a history buff or a ghost hunter, Lanyan Homestead promises an experience you won't soon forget. 15. Wilston House, Queensland. Last but not least is Wilston House, a 19th century homestead located just outside of Brisbane. This heritage-listed property has been the subject of many ghost stories over the years. Visitors and staff have reported seeing ghostly figures, including that of a woman dressed in old-fashioned clothing, standing at the windows. There are also reports of furniture moving on its own, and lights flickering with no explanation. One of the most unsettling experiences comes from those who've stayed overnight. Many claim to hear whispers and footsteps in the halls, even when they're alone. Paranormal investigators have visited Wilston House numerous times, capturing strange phenomena on camera and recording unexplained sounds. For those who visit, Wilston House offers more than just a glimpse into the past. It's a place where the line between the living and the dead feels all too thin. And there you have it, the top 15 haunted houses in Australia. Each of these locations holds a history of tragedy, mystery, and the unexplained. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, There's no denying the eerie energy that lingers in these homes. If you ever find yourself near one of these places, would you dare step inside? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-chilling stories.